Now, he has worked with some of the biggest names of stage and screen, and even the Spice Girls, but now actor Richard E. Grant has joined one of the biggest franchises in the world.
Yes, and it's what you would call a super role. Well, amongst the people you saw there were the actor Tom Hiddleston and a very horny-looking Richard E. Grant, it has to be said. This is Loki, available now on Sky Disney+. Richard, really good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well,
thank you for having me.
For anybody who doesn't know the whole Loki story, I hope I'm saying it right, from Marvel, who or what is a Loki?
A Loki is a god of mischief, played absolutely brilliantly by Tom Hiddleston. He's a superhero, and you know, the version that I play is there are 4 Loki variants in the scene that you've just shown: alligator Loki, kid Loki, boastful Loki, and classic old Loki, which is my role.
You're the classic.
Yeah, the oldest one on the block.
But you think this is, I mean, much as you'd like to say your acting reputation got you this job, you have a sneaking suspicion it was because you look like Tom Hiddleston.
Yes, because we'd joked with each other. I've never worked with Tom, but I'd followed his career since first seeing him in the theatre 100 years ago, the Donmar Warehouse. And, you know, I said to him, you're going to have just an absolutely phenomenal career ahead of you. So I look forward to watching. And, of course, nobody knew then that it would be quite as stratospheric and successful as he has been, especially playing Loki. And we'd always joke that we could feasibly play father and son because of vague similarity in what we look like, similar hairline. So when I got this thing to play old Loki, I thought, oh, well, finally, this is the gig that's come about because of that.
Tell us about the costume, Richard, because Eamon said there we saw the horns. It's quite an intriguing costume. What were you hoping for?
Ruth, I was hoping for muscles, because I haven't been born without any, as you can see. And having seen all the Jack Kirby drawings and the original costume design for this part, I thought that I would be, you know, bulked out like all the things were. And I thought, finally, at the age of 63, as I was last year, I would get to be in the muscle suit with the horns. They sort of balance it out. They give you the classic V shape. Anyway, they didn't, so I had to settle for, I said, so you want me to play this as withered old Loki?
But listen, what a romp, what a lovely thing, as you say, to be in your 60s now, to be offered a part like this. You're always a guy who seems to be up for fun. Was it fun to play? Absolutely.
It was amazing. It's a great bunch of people. We filmed in Pinewood Studios in Atlanta, in Georgia, and it was the first job that I'd managed to do when restrictions were lifted, because I was supposed to do it at the beginning of last year, and then, you know, COVID hit all of us, so then it got delayed till October. Right. So it was great.
Yeah. We mentioned Owen Wilson earlier was in the film. Did you know Owen before you started this?
No, but I'd never met him, but, you know, I'd been a long time fan of his, and I wondered whether there'd be a big discrepancy between the Owen that you know from movies or sofa adverts to the guy in real life, whether he'd be a completely different person. But he was as funny, laid back, and Owen Wilsonish as you could possibly hope a guy to be. He was hilarious. I absolutely loved him.
So you made a new friend there as well.
Yes, and we're having twins in October. Because
Congratulations.
You know, but let me ask you, in a career that has been as successful as yours and stretched over so many different genres and roles, and, you know, I keep coming back. We were talking before we came on air, that film 2 years ago, Can You Ever Forgive Me, for which you were Oscar nominated. Absolutely beautiful film. Anyone who hasn't seen this, please do look it up, watch it for Richard in there. But Richard, looking back over that career, who were your contemporaries? Who did you start out with? Who were the people that you've grown up with as an actor?
Well, they've all won Oscars. Daniel Day-Lewis, Sean Bean, he hasn't won one yet. Gary Oldman. We were all the same age when we were starting out. So those are the guys.
Gosh,
they were the
amazing.
And when you were starting out, Richard, what was the dream then?
Oh, I thought that I would be a theatre actor. I had no idea, because when I left drama school, the professor in his final assessment said, you know, you're very tall and thin and you have a very long sort of funeral attendant kind of face. I don't think you're really, you know, you're too lightweight. I don't think you really will make it as an actor. I think your talents lie in writing and directing. So I thought, well, he obviously knows something that I don't. So I'm glad that I proved him wrong.
Yes, the perfect attributes to be a Loki. As well, all comes to fruition.
Yeah, and how did you feel when you got? I mean, you know, it's such a huge franchise, and obviously this is a spin-off TV show. So, what did you think when your agent called you to say they've asked you to join the Marvel franchise?
I'd had a taste of it because I was in the final Logan film with Hugh Jackman about 4 years ago, and then I had experience of being on this highly secretive, you know, fan-based thing on a film that you may have heard of called Star Wars: Rise of Luke Skywalker that came out a couple of years ago. Yeah,
vaguely, I think.
And then, so, you know, going into the Marvel universe, Tom Hiddleston did say to me on the first day that I worked, I was very, very nervous because, you know, they'd all been doing it they'd done 4 episodes already and I was a new boy on the block. And he said, I think that when people see you as classic old Loki, there's going to be a big reaction. And I thought he was trying to be, you know, as a producer and the leading actor, having played this part for over, 10 years so brilliantly, that he was just being encouraging and trying to allay my nerves. But he was, you know, he saw into the crystal ball of all of this in a way that I couldn't possibly, because the social media that I'm on went absolutely berserk last Wednesday when it first came out. And the fan art that I've been deluged with, I know that people have had, there has been a big response to old Loki's arrival and the whistle at the end, you know, fantastic explosion.
That'll be with you forever on that conveyor belt there. Absolutely incredible. From a Loki to a Loco Chanel. Now, this is a forthcoming film, we should say. This is the film version of the West End show everybody's talking about, Jamie. And Loco Chanel is a drag queen, and you are that drag queen.
I'm the old, yet another old part. I'm the old drag queen, Hugo / Loco Chanel, who becomes the drag mother for young Jamie New, which is a true life story based on Jamie New. There was a BBC documentary, and it's brilliantly played by a newcomer who'd never done a film before called Max Harwood. He's absolutely extraordinary in this film. I can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah, and we interviewed the Jamie actually here when he first, you know, before he was doing the West End show, was written, absolutely lovely guy. How did you prepare for the role, Richard?
Well, you know, those, put it this way, it's like a sort of vintage Formula One car. That's me. You know, when they come into the pit stop and, you know, 20 people suddenly turn up to change the wheels, change the oil, change the everything. I had Joan Washington taught me a Sheffield accent. Sean Niles, who as a dancer choreographer, Kylie Minogue, he taught me how to sashay and to walk and, you know, get into have the attitude for it. Guy Common and Nadia Stacey designed incredible makeup and hair. Guy Speranza, a double D, full cup, fabulous costume, and a brilliant drag artist from the north called David Hoyle was the person that was really my role model through all this. And I had a wonderful singing teacher called Anne-Marie Speed as well. So really, as you can tell, I had a big team of people to help me because it is the most terrifying thing that I've ever had to do, because I had to play somebody that was supposed to be an incredibly successful drag artist from the 1980s who'd fallen on hard times. So, you know, I had a lot of help.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Thank you. Everybody's talking about Jamie.
Thank you. And everybody's talking about Richard E. Grant. He's doing everything. Long may it continue, Richard. Thank you for your time today and have a good weekend. Thank you.
Enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you.
Richard.
Loki, it is available now on Disney+. OK, if you want to watch that.